Chair, good morning, Honorable colleagues. Now, this is Michael Smith Manning, I'm going to Parliament for Kerala City.
Okay, Mike.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Nawaz Rosemary, Member of Parliament, Abu District.
Thank you, Rosemary. Yes.
Muhim Samuel, Auditor, Office of the Auditor. Thank you, Chair, Honorable members. Good morning, everybody. I'm called the Salon of Punyamina. Yeah, Auditor, Office of the Auditor, and that's Parliament.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Barbara Mutenyo. I work as a senior auditor in the Office of the Auditor.
Thank you, Chair. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Susan Grita, representing the Council.
Thank you, Chair. Good morning, everyone. My name is Ruth Lindsay, and I'm a colleague attached to this committee.
Thank you, Chair. Good morning, everyone. I'm called Justin Harris. We have special officer,
Thank you, Honorable Chair, honorable members, and Chief Sergeant Mr. Jonathan, CEO of Sadaki Committee.
Thank you, Chair. Good morning, everyone. My name is Claire Achan, the Technician National Committee. Thank you, Chair. My name is Fatima Brown-Leah, Executive Assistant House Secretary.
Thank you, Chair. I'm Detective Assistant Inspector of Police, Roti Michael, CW Officer at the Committee.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. My name is Gilbert Ayunjisha, and the track of the
Thank you, Chair, and members for coming us. My name is Mr. David Obong, the Family Science Organization. Triple O.
Not Java phone.
No.
Microphone phone.
I'm the overall boss of all the world and Uganda. The phone of my subject.
Good morning, Honorable Chair. My name is Mpunga Emmanuel, Under Secretary.
Where did you go? How long are you going to be?
3 years.
Thank you, Chair. My name is Diana Kawagambe. I'm the Principal Assistant Secretary for the Ministry of Science, Technology and Innovation.
Thank you, Chair. Honorable members, I'm Ibrahim Mubaya, the Principal Counsel.
Sound of Kenya Freight, Principal Chairman of the Ministry of Science, Technology and Innovation. Thank you, Chair. Paul Floyd, Commissioner of Police and Plans, Ministry of Science, Technology and Innovation.
Thank you, Chair.
You have to get what we call the
Thank you, Chair. I'm Leo Frida Onyela. I'm the Assistant Commissioner, Human Resources Management at the Ministry of Science, Technology and Innovation.
So accounting officer, the remaining members of the protesters and the public, her name is Nandara Mafari, the chair of the committee. Our vice is coming in, she's called Boris Manager. So accounting officer, your team, you're most welcome. As usual, this committee is basically here to look for accountability. We are not here to look for faults. We want to discuss with them, see how best we can assist the ministry so that it can implement its mandate. The same way, if there are challenges, we need to tell us so that we work together to see how best to improve the performance of the ministry and, of course, as far as the accountability is concerned. As a committee, you are aware you are given money, you are given human resource so that you can really support your mandate and you are able to perform. And that's why you are here today to look at 2018-2019 Water General's report. Without wasting time, I would want to invite you to give us a brief statement on the effects of COVID as far as your ministry is concerned. So, Accounting Officer.
Thank you very much, Honorable Chairperson and members. I will thank you for welcoming us and for what you have just indicated, that you're not here for fault finding, but to find a way of how best we can improve our performance. Before I give a short comments on the impact of COVID-19 on the sector, allow me to present to you two sets of documents which you may find useful in the long run. I have with me here a copy of the client charter of the ministry.
You have answered the query of the client charter. So you have passed this one, huh? Okay.
Also with me here a copy of the National Research and Innovation Program Framework document, which is a document produced to guide the country on how to support research and development, right to commercialization, and it provides for a research funding instrument as the Innovation Fund, and it's all contained here.
Thank you very much.
If there are more than...
You give us, we need 41.
41. For now...
And the charter you brought, how many? Only 4. What happened? Okay, me, I will give away my charter.
This one I brought 17. We'll take note of the gap.
So here you have given me 4.
We shall bring the rest.
These are 17.
Yes. By close of business today or tomorrow at your convenience, you can bring the rest of the documents.
Okay. Engineer also, you must read this document. Go ahead.
Honorable Chair, let me start by saying that, of course, Uganda, like most countries, did not expect that COVID-19 would be available. But that is now history because we are in it. Now, if you look at COVID-19, of course, it's quite disruptive. And on the negative side, although science and innovation is key to national development, we have had shocks, cases of COVID-19, and it has disrupted our operations in terms of planned activities in the financial year, especially during the period starting from January to where we are. There were lined up policy issues that must be addressed. We had planned engagements outside the country, and we had planned engagements for outreach within the country. All these were disrupted, but not all hope is lost. We have continued to engage as guided under the standard operating procedures. Our scientists and technologies have been engaged in the development of local scientific solutions to support import substitution towards COVID. Government also stepped in, and I wish to report that as a ministry, we just signed, just on time, a contract for development, for supply of equipment for supporting scientists in the area of diagnostics, therapeutics, and vaccines. We expect delivery by next month. Other equipments are already procured for short-term use, and they're also being tested. We expect there's a meeting tomorrow again to discuss the Prime Minister and my Minister other interventions that must be undertaken by the sector in supporting the country in overcoming COVID-19. But while that is worrying, we are also gone ahead to start engaging ourselves to come with innovative solutions for supporting all the sectors in implementing the SDGs, notwithstanding COVID's presence. We are also tackling the issue of trying to support innovators to commercialization with the limited funds that were available. We have, as a ministry, started to work on intellectual property issues to make sure that our innovators don't lose out on the benefits of their innovation once it's being commercialized. We are also supporting local manufacturing. Of course, Chair, you are aware that there is a current manufacturing and training center at Nambambe by the National Research Institute. It's functional. At an appropriate time, the COVID should consider visiting to see what's happening there. This is where the masks are being made. But apart from the mask, we have installed equipment and machinery for skilling Ugandans. Chair, we had launched a rigorous strengthening of international cooperation with partners. This includes UNCTAD in Geneva. It includes UN Technology Bank in Turkey, Israel, MIT in USA, and many others. These are ongoing in spite of COVID-19 intervention, and we hope that when the airspace are relaxed, we should be able to move in. Innovation funding, although there was a skeleton funding this financial year, the last financial year, we have managed to cover all the innovators that were guided by the President, and we hope that in the next 1 to 2 weeks we'll be visiting them to see how far they have come with their innovation. We are also putting a lot of focus on supporting research, technology importation, technology development. On space science, Chair and members, I want to report that the ministry has engaged the Japanese government, and they are going to support 3 Ugandan scientists to train in space science. Already they have started their training in-country online. We have paid the fees for their first quarter, and we hope that once the airspace is open, they'll go to Japan for 2 years on space science. We are also targeting science and technology skilling. Positively, we are dealing with all sectors in the country, especially Ministry of Education, Makerere University, and all other universities, because skilling obviously starts with what the private sector wants, and the feedback is given to universities to churn out that kind of human resources that are required. Chair, one of the biggest areas that we have had a setback in is developing innovation infrastructures. In this country, we have had traditional infrastructures, the roads, the waterworks, and name it, but we don't have innovation infrastructures, that is science and technology parks and incubation centers. We had planned for this. We were being invited to go to Iceland to see how a technology bank works in bringing out, the technology lab works in bringing out this area. So we have already developed project concepts with Ministry of Finance. They are on course, and we hope that we shall be able to finalize this area. I talked about policy. We had worked with UNCTAD to develop the national science and innovation policy for this country. It was finalized. All that remained was to have gone to Geneva in March, UNCTAD meeting, and seal it off. That did not happen, but we are in close contact, and we hope that once the airspace is open or virtual engagement on meetings, we should be able to seal off the policy. And then we should also embark on implementing our sector development plan, which was approved, together with the NDP 3, which is now fully embracing science and technology innovation. NDP 2 was there, so was NDP 1, but there was no dedicated ministry to spearhead science, technology innovation intervention in the country. And yet, ST&I, that is science, technology innovation, is cross-cutting. It touches every segment of our life. Every ministry has scientists with them, and therefore the need for synergies among sector. We are taking advantage of COVID-19 to make sure that we developed and enhanced synergies among all sectors in whatever programs we are going to design. In brief, Chair, this is what I can present, but the paper that you have is going to be reviewed, and by close of business on Monday you should get a more elaborate submission which covers other aspects that may not have been covered here. I thank you.
Thank you very much, Accounting Officer. That shows you're on top of the range and you're trying to see how we mitigate COVID-19. Colleagues, I want to ask colleagues, this is for information, it's okay?
Thank you, Chair. Chair, sorry I came late. Walswaka James are my names. I represent
Accounting Officer, that food is yours. If you start eating, then we shall eat.
Yeah.
Thank you for promoting food security. I will encourage my technical officers to partake of what they can. I am very selective in what I eat in terms of the oil, because in this country I only eat two kinds of oil: olive oil and shea butter oil, which is found in Utuke district, where I come from.
But you can take
no coffee.
Coffee I take, obviously I take
from
coffee.
Yeah, some coffee we have.
Chair, maybe as you tell them, let them enjoy the fruits of NRM. But Chair,
but they're also Ugandans.
Yeah, but it's NRM in charge. Honour Chair, I'm sorry I came late. Having passed the regulations yesterday, we were trying to finalize the roadmap of NRM. That's why I delayed. But Chair, on this page of the COVID statement the PS has given, one, Mr. PS, Banana and Slick, all of them are in the Greater Bushenyi. And I remember, Chair, when we were in the Committee of Science, Technology and Innovations, before I crossed to another committee, we had directed the ministry to do something, because now the president is talking about cassava to get starch. This is where you can bring in north and east. So I want to know why the ministry has persistently left the other part of the country, only concentrating in Western Uganda. Because Banana, Chair, that project was mad with a lot of irregularities. Finally, Chair, we are told that the Kira motor vehicle, you know, we saw it on TV, but we are told they just imported a bus and painted Uganda. There was nothing technical which was done. So, PS, sometimes media comes, now that you're here, you explain to the country whether you just imported and just wrote there made in Uganda, or it was really made in Uganda. Because now people are saying we are not working. Thank you, Chair. Only those two clarifications.
Very much, Engineer Orsak, for those thoughtful questions. Okay. Do you have a comment? Yes.
Thank you, Honorable Chair, and I want to thank the Honorable Member for his submission. I'll start from the reverse order with Kira Motors Corporation. Chair, Honorable Members, one thing which I really love in this country is the negativity that comes in what is being done. There are those who specialize in negativity. Now, for Kira Motors, I must say that these two buses were actually made by Ugandans under technology development and transfer. I went to China with my minister and some members of parliament here to where these buses were. The first bus was assembled by Ugandans. Literally, they were trained there and they started the work right from scratch up to finish. The second bus was not made from there. The parts were there, they were brought and assembled by your Ugandans in Uganda from Nakasongola. So the issue that is coming up, that it was painted and it was, you know, you cannot stop Uganda from talking. If you were to award honors, I think Uganda will get honors for talking and not working the right way. There is no truth in that allegation. We will give a chronology of events right from start of the idea in Makerere, the training of Ugandans who worked on these buses, and they're available. They were trained, worked on it through technology and transfer, and made the buses. We have pictures of the buses that were being assembled and the one that was running, the first bus that came. We have the pictures and everything about it. So it's not true that it was just painted here and then imported. Chair of members.
Accounting officer, did we manufacture or we assembled?
We manufactured.
What did we manufacture?
Based on the concept that was made from Makerere.
What did we manufacture?
It was done in China due to collaboration between...
That's okay.
Yes.
What did we manufacture?
The bus.
We manufactured the engine?
All parts of the bus.
The engine?
Honorable Chair, all parts of the bus were manufactured.
Yeah, I see. That man was in the Ministry of Finance. That's why I was remembering.
Go ahead.
Thank you very much, Honorable Chair and members. I'm through my PS. I will start with the very first one. This bus has no engine. It has no engine. It has a motor. So it doesn't have an engine because it is electric. That is the starting point.
So we manufactured the motor.
Now, there is what we call, for the automotive industry, the most crucial stage is the design. This bus was fully designed by Ugandans. There is what they call the powertrain. The powertrain is what enables this bus to move. Now, if you took that bus to, if you look at the terrain of China, for example, it is not the terrain of Uganda. So here, it was designed and specifically made for the Ugandan cities. Now, the question is, what is it, this particular we are talking of? Now, the question of what was exactly made. Honorable Chair, if you got a Volvo and opened the bonnet, you will find more than 22 parts, more than 22 countries which have contributed to a Volvo in the bonnet. In the automotive industry, there is no single brand, call it Toyota or what, which is making everything. But the starting point is the design. If you went to Kakira, you will find a vehicle looking like a Benz and a Benz. But one is Benz, one is Tata. Now, these are issues in the industry where one country goes and enters into technology transfer arrangements with the willing partner. Now, in this particular case, what happened is that, as the PS said, we sent 6 our engineers from here to go to China to our technology partner, and because we don't have the machines here, so they went and they built those buses. One came as fully built, another one came as knocked down. But even when you come here, what we got at that time were just material. Now, the material, if you look at a bus, and it comes to why we're even handling the bus, because it is the easiest to mold. If you look at the molds required to mold a small car, you'll find that they could even be more expensive than that of a bus, because the bus, you're talking of straight sheets, which you don't need any specific any specific molding. You get them and put them on the side. Now, the things that were done in China was, for example, the front, I don't know how to call it, but the front of the car, the frame at the front of the car, of the bus, that one was done there using that mold, that side. So it is not true that they just brought a bus and branded it. And branded it Kayola. The design is from here, everything is from here, but because you don't need to start from scratch, you cannot manage. If you look at the molds that are used, we cannot afford that for now. But the sheets we are talking of, roofings already has accepted to start manufacturing automotive steel. You look at Uganda has a lot of cobalt. Now with cobalt, it is what is used to make the batteries. So we shall now have to, we now as a country need to develop that sector as well, because the lithium batteries, because they will be used in that. So all in all, as the PS said, there is a lot of negativity out there, but I want to assure you through the PS that this is a team which is really moving on and everything will be okay. Nakasongwala was used because it already had some equipment. The Yuri facility which the PS is inviting you to is a facility ready to make any of these parts using 3D printing. We shall be making bolts, nuts, and everything from there. So we are really there. All we need is the support. Unfortunately, the funding is not coming even as passed in the roadmap. This is what I wanted to add. Thank you so much.
Now, since you have made the bus,
yes,
why are you not making more buses? Because now would be having YY buying from you. What is the other one going to northern Uganda? What is it?
Kakise.
Where is the one in Barara? Global. Why are you taking, since we have now succeeded to make a bus? Why are we not making them? Go ahead.
Chair, why I asked this, you know, I love this country. And as members, especially some of us who are in the ruling party, when we get this, and we are so in the real sense, to a common man, a villager from Butaleja and Budadi, PS, did you make the bus, you assembled, or you just imported? Those are the keywords, because they were talking, the way I got, even in my senior card, Honona Juma here, we were a bit confused. So through you, Chair, maybe you know whether they imported, whether they assembled.
Just a straight one now.
Yeah.
Did we imported a bus?
Honorable Chair and members, one bus was made, assembled, and then shipped from China to Uganda. A second bus.
So that one was imported.
A second bus came in as parts, and they were, and it was assembled in Akasongola, and the two are running. Now the question of why are we not making the buses now? To make the buses, you need an assembly line, an assembly factory. That is being constructed in the Jinja. If only the members can find time and go and see. I also was negative when I heard about it. But when I went and saw the start of the assembly point up to now, you can't believe it.
Okay, proceed, Yogoma.
I'm a member of this committee. The procedure issue I'm raising, Mr. Chairman, you asked specific questions, which needed yes or no. These were three questions. Say, was the bus made in Uganda, was the bus made in China? I expected the PS to say yes or no. Can we proceed like that?
PS, what I've heard, and which my members have heard, one, the first bus was imported.
Made in China by Ugandans and imported.
No, you see, even those who are making the aeroplanes, have you gone to Nani? There are two Ugandans there. These planes you are seeing. So are you saying the planes which you get here are made by Uganda?
Which ones?
This what is the company which makes planes? What's the name? Airbus. Airbus. There are two Ugandans there. Very powerful one. One is even from Acholi land.
Mr. Chairman,
so can we say that those,
just for clarity, even if the bus is assembled in China, where the parts from Uganda, because we don't have an assembly plant, we could have taken the parts to China and assembled it there. It makes a difference.
Now that's a very nice one. It's like iPhone is being manufactured in China, but the old parts are made somewhere, then they go and make them in California.
Honorable Chair and members, there is under technology development and transfer.
Put on the microphone, PS.
It's a process. Ugandan scientists who were part of the concept of this idea of a bus had to be trained. That was through technology development and transfer with a company in China, CHTC. Now, after the training, they started to make the bus, one bus, using, a bus consists of so many parts. Yes. So some parts may be made from another country or this country, and then you put them together. You assemble based on the design that was made. So that's what happened.
And the question PS which we want, because we want to run away quicker about this. Remember, just as you go, are there any parts which were made from Uganda?
Yes.
Which one?
The seats. The seats and the floor. They're Ugandan materials.
So seats were made in Uganda. Okay, that's okay. Chair.
But Chair.
I know even in these many cases when the men bring them, they are made here. Okay, let us go slowly. Let us work. That's one. So seats were made in Uganda.
Chair.
Michael, why?
Chair.
Okay, Rosemary, then Sarah.
Mr. Chairman, I would like to declare my interest first.
In the back.
I'm a member of the Committee of Science, Technology and Innovation, and I was among the members of Parliament who traveled with them to China. Mr. Chairman, we found 6 of our boys in China, and we found 6 of our boys, Ugandans, in China, and some of us were interested in knowing the selection, and we realized that they were from different parts of the country. One of them is even from Bali, one of those 6 boys. Others are from, there was another one from Kayunga, another one from Sitlira or Apache, another one from Kampala here. So, Mr. Chairman, we found those boys working on that bus, which was now brought back home. And Mr. Chairman, at first I used not to believe in this Kira Moto project, but having seen what those boys of ours did, I got convinced. Now back at home, we again went as a committee to Nakasongola, and we found the 6 boys were there, but they were now training other Ugandans. And of course they were from different fields. There were those who trained in electric engineering, others carpenters and all that. And Mr. Chairman, we even moved in that bus. The floor is made of bamboo from Uganda. And so, Mr. Chairman, I think maybe there is need for us to visit Kira Motors. Now, Mr. Chairman, on the issue of materials, I would like to compare it to a house when you are constructing. When you are because those people in China told us that even them, they don't have all the materials in China. They import some parts, but those which are available in their country, they also use those ones. It's like when you are constructing a house, you may have to import tiles, but at the end of the day, who will be the manufacturer or the person who has constructed that house? You will call it your house. Mr. Chairman, we need to go and visit.
Thank you, Chair. Chair, I wanted to know how much has been spent on the buses as we talk now, because it's not captured in their financial.
Mr. Chairman, thank you very much. Frederick Amura, Tororo South. It's kilometer 0. Mr. Chairman, this project of buses is a good project, but I think the accounting officer should be sincere to us. Are we going to manufacture buses or we are going to assemble buses? So the technology transfer is good, but I would have also wanted to hear from you whether this transfer is about empowering our people to assemble or empowering our people in the nitty-gritty in molding and manufacturing those parts.
Because you have made a case. Triple O. You know, he told us that Ofono is a subset of his name. Ofono Pono, you're from Toronto.
Honorable Chair, be very fair to ourselves. Can I request that your committee gives us a dedicated day devoted to nothing else but Kira Motors Corporation presentation, so that we start from scratch to where we are. And the CEO of Kira Motors, who is also a scientist and has been at the center of this, plus the chairman and his team, should be with us here. As a ministry, we did not come along with them because we looked at the issue to be discussed, and it was wholly 100% the mainstream ministry. The ministry has agencies, and Kira Motors is one of the agencies. So my request is, let's have a day dedicated to Kira Motors, and we start you from Makerere conception up to where we are, so that we're able to work together and in the same direction as Ugandans. If we rely on this price sentimentation, we are going to keep moving backwards, which I don't think is healthy for this country. That's my submission.
Yes, they have brought a good submission, but quickly, what we have discovered, we have very intelligent Ugandans. I'm told Rothman says one is from Mbale. Me, I'm not bothered so much. Even if you go to Pentagon, one of the bright guys who's leading the ICT there is a Ugandan. You are aware of, you know him. Yes, from here. So very intelligent, and if he's on the plane, there are no people because they treasure him too much. So having said that, so we have intelligent people. So now what we have the knowledge. Then we have the seats. We are the ones who make seats. No, because that's Michael. What is we have the seats. So in China, what did we take in China? We took the boys. We never took anything. True or false? Yeah, let us just clear that, because just simplistic.
Honorable Chair, through my PS, in China we not just take the boys.
We took what?
We took the design.
Okay, fine.
That was the starting point.
So
the
we took
design of
the
industry is very crucial.
So we took the design,
yes,
and the boys.
Yes.
Fine, that also helps. Then from there, the design was implemented in China. We got a full bus.
Yes.
The bus was manufactured by our boys from China.
Yes.
The second one, we came to do it here, but all the materials, we bought it from outside, except seats under the boys. And the bamboo wedge ties. So we must conclude that. The third one is, we have not moved to the next bus until many people have been developed, until we have built a planting, assembly plant. Because we had assumed by now, nobody would be going to Nairobi to assemble a bus, we would be doing it here. Unfortunately, we are still going to Nairobi, and that would have caught on foreign Okay, even the metals may be reduced on the amount of foreign exchange. Now, given all this, we want first of all to thank you for what you have done up to this stage. We want to thank you. It was a good start, and we shall support you to come to conclusion. Now, we only want to confirm that none of these accounts has any figure relating to the bus, because that's where Sarah came in. We want to be sure that nothing here touches the bus.
All right. Thank you, Chair. Through my PS, KMC is one of the subventions, one of the agencies under the ministry, and it receives subventions, transfers to its entity, and part of its activities includes the activities for the manufacture of the bus.
So this budget we are talking about,
yes, they did receive money for KMC.
How much? Because we want to be sure. You are the accountant. You have the accounts there. Okay, you look for it, you tell us. No, we are giving you a few minutes, you will tell us. So, colleagues, the PS with the accounting office has said we should make a day and we'll go and do it. We're lucky campaigns now are going to be scientific, so it means even if we're in Nakasongola, we can scientifically be campaigning. Am I wrong, Kaima? So, colleagues, so we're going to give you a day. My clerk arrange a day within this month so that we can communicate to the PS. Now we move on. So, accounting officer, we are going to look at 2018-2019. We gave here a budget which was approved, which you went to implement, and we want you to quickly run about your budget, implementation, challenges, and if the outputs which we agreed are the ones you produce.
Thank you, Chair. Can I request principal accountant to take us through those areas? I can take up the challenges as well.
Go ahead.
Chair and honorable members, that is item 1.1.
I want to tell the accounting officer, if you go through and you handle the thing up to the end, even those which are in front, the queries will be been dealt with.
Chair, our response under 1.1 is that the ministry did write to the Ministry of Finance, Planning and Economic Development and continues to engage them in this respect. We have attached Annex 1.1, which are copies of the correspondences. On the second part, Chair.
No, what did you get? What was the budget? What did you get?
Chair, okay, sir. The budget was, originally was 55.8 billion,
yes,
which was revised to 59.4 billion,
yes,
out of which we received 47 billion.
yes. Why did you not, why was it revised and why couldn't you get? Yes.
Honourable Chair, when I see what the officer is reading on page 1 on the responses, Chair, these responses were not signed by the accounting officer. So, I don't know, maybe they signed your copy, but mine was not signed. So, I don't know whether we are proceeding well when the technical people misguide the accounting officer by reading things the accounting officer is not aware of. Because the accounting officer, whatever is aware of, he appends his signature. So, I don't know whether maybe yours was the responses is reading. Thank you, Chair.
Accounting officer sign one of that and pass it to us. Okay, go ahead. No, he's signing as he go ahead.
Thank you, Chair. Chair, when you look at the accounts, page 13, under the commentary, it gives a breakdown of budget performance. Page 13.
Yes, go ahead.
Yeah. A breakdown of the wage, non-wage, and development. Chair, the initial budget under wage was 2 billion, which was revised at 2 billion. How much was warranted is 2 billion. Under non-wage recurrent, the initial budget was 29.3 billion, which was revised to 32 billion, out of which the warrants were 23 billion. Under the development budget...
Which warrant are you talking about?
Those are the releases.
The warrant was 23 what?
1, 2, 3. That's the fourth column, Chair. The warrants under non-wage were 23 billion.
23 billion?
Yes.
23...
Chair, the table we're using is the one under commentary on the financial statements by head of accounts, budget performance.
No, it's okay. Let us see the commentary. It is on page 4. Let's page 4. This is the one, eh?
Yeah, sure, Chair.
Colleague, page 7, colleagues.
I proceed, Chair.
Yes, this is 23 and 21.
Yes.
No, this one we have seen is a block. Can we go to page 14 of your accounts? I think you should explain on page 14. No, go to page 14 in front.
The statement of appropriation?
Yeah, it is the one which will be answering this.
No, but here the table before is the one that answers the one on budget performance.
Yeah, it is here. You see warrants, you see actual, you see variance. I thought that's the performance.
Yeah, but also in the table before summarizes that, Chair.
No, we need to go here. Let us use this one. Why are you dodging the other one? We need this one here, it's better.
So there are two, Chair. There is one for services and there is one for nature.
By nature?
Nature. Thank you, Chair. So, Chair, the initial approved budget was 58.8 billion.
No, 55.
55.
Yes.
55.8 billion, which was revised to 59.4 billion.
Yes.
And the warrants were 47 billion. The actual was 46.4 billion with a variance of 12.9 billion.
So question number one, why was it revised from 55 to 59? What was that you added?
Chair, there was a supplementary, when you go to, there was a supplementary of 1.19 billion. That is on the commentary. The page on the commentary.
What's page what?
Page 7.
Page
I think
7.
page 8.
Remember?
Sorry, page 8.
Page 8, yeah. Paragraph what?
The paragraph on environment, Chair.
What was it about? Oh.
Hello?
You did environment for banana what?
No, Chair, just before the first paragraph basically talks about, the supplementary was 3.54 billion for PBID. Just the first paragraph under budget performance on page 7. Yes, yeah.
Where's the
Chair, the first paragraph.
Honorable Chair.
Members, listen.
On environment, did you get authority from Parliament?
Yeah, that's where we're going to go. Let us go. Before we go there, members, you relax. We start with the number. Okay, you read the first one.
Yeah, the Chair. That the approved budget for vote 023 for the financial 2018-2019 was 55.8 billion, which was revised to shillings 59.4 billion with a supplementary of 3.54 billion for the presidential initiative of banana industry development.
So we had not budgeted for banana initiative. Let us start from there. We need to understand. Initially, had we budgeted for banana initiative?
Mr. Chairman, if my additional memory is still okay, I remember Parliament refusing to budget for this banana. I was a member of the committee on this. We rejected, and then later on, they went and maneuvered. And I don't think even this money was approved by Parliament. So maybe you can improve by showing us documents.
So, accounting officer, we want you to
And actually, this is why they made the environment.
We're going there. Please, Yokomo, you're too intelligent.
Yeah, Chair.
First, let us start from the supplementary. We want you to, initially it was 55.8. Are you together? It was revised to 59 with a supplemental of 3.54 presidential initiative. True or false?
This is true.
For banana?
Yeah.
Do you have the details of that? Okay. We're going to say, colleagues, on Monday, the accounting officer shall provide the details of the 3.54 for banana industrial development. Okay.
Yeah, he has not failed. He's still searching for the document.
You have it attached?
No.
No.
I was just trying to look through.
You see, it's going to take our time because then we'll go to the next one. So this number 1 on Monday. By Monday, 13/07/2020, 5 p.m. Okay? That all together?
Yes, sure.
Please. Now, colleagues who have got 3.5, now we go to environment. That is on page 8. Can you read it for record purposes?
Yeah, Chair. Under environment, the ministry possessed a environment of 1.19 billion in respect of funding requirements for the Presidential Initiative on Banana Industrial Development, PB. It was funded from the current budget under the Finance and Administration Department.
Are we together? That means environment, you are shifting from another vote, another budget line to another one.
Yes.
So where is the authority?
Guidance. Where was the environment made from?
No, that's one we're going to do. We need
got
first
money from where?
We need
because
first,
the role guarding that one also. Where you get the environment matters. Because I can see this is a lot of money, 1.196 billion. So where did you get this money from?
no, they've said from finance and administration department. What we want to do now?
Finance. Then we look for finance.
Yeah, that's what we want to deal with first.
Yes, correct.
Accounting officer, you come here complaining to us that we don't give you money. We give you money, you go and make your own budget. You become the speaker, you become the clerk to, what is it called? MP for Budadili West, MP for Barara City. All these become your MPs, eh? So now, that's what we want. And then you come here and say, we have not performed.
Finance, it was from finance and administration.
Can I ask the Secretary to clarify?
Yes.
Thank you very much, Honorable Chair and the committee, my PS. We got a letter from Minister of Finance asking us to actually provide the figure of the figure you are seeing here as the environment and the figure that they gave us as supplementary. And we said that we wrote back that under the circumstances, one, we do not have adequate money ourselves, but then two, we also, even if we were to, because for them they just looked at the entire budget and they said give them 4.7, they calculated their 10% finance. And we said, but look here, you are looking at the entire budget, but there is what can't be reallocated.
No, you
wages.
You see, you show
Yes.
us. You see, please, you are running away. You are the one submitting a supplementary to Minister of what? Finance.
Who requests the finance?
Who requests supplementary? Not you?
Yes, we do.
So you requested the supplementary, you should have budgeted for this activity. If Parliament rejected it, there is no way you can start again going to ask what? Supplementary.
Chair, the issues of PB are not very new to
That's
the
why
Parliament
we are
of
here.
Uganda.
That's why today we are going to sort David. We are going to sort David today.
Yes.
Today we are going to sort it out.
Yes.
You see,
Yes.
unless we deal with you staff, we have nowhere to do it. Show us evidence of environment of 1.19 billion.
Honorable Chair, we can call for that one even before this meeting ends, and we show line by line, because this money was gotten from line by line.
Exactly.
Yes, we can. We can.
And the authority, which my brother Fred from Moroto asked.
Yes.
The authority, we want you to, in fact, this one here. Why we left the other one?
Yes.
But we're going for this one because we know why. Environment means what? you shift money from a budget line,
Yes.
which you have come and we have approved, and when we have approved, you want the change. And we want to confirm if it is under PFM. What is the environment percentage? Is it
10%.
Exactly.
10%, yeah.
We want to confirm that that small line of stationery where you remove the money, the 1.9, 1.1 was equal to 10% of the budget of the stationery.
Yes. I can confirm that, yes.
No, not global.
No, it's not global. It was item by each budget line. We do not go beyond 10% on each budget line.
Yes. That's why I was saying, if it is each budget line, that's what we want to get. And that clearly shows that you over budgeted for finance and administration what? Department. For the purpose of coming to pick 10%. And that's why I was saying you lied Parliament when you have hidden 10%, which you will pick tomorrow. Are you together?
I'm getting you, Chair, but that is not the truth. That's not the
First
truth.
of all, Auditor General has not raised an issue that because of removing 10%, you never performed. He has not said it. In short, even you miscarried it. What? So, first, the Auditor General has not raised that you, because of environment, the approved activities were not performed. He has not raised. That clearly shows that you had inbuilt in your budget 10% which you will do, and what we are not so sure if you are not inbuilt 50%. So do that.
Honorable Chair, through my PS and the accounting officer, I have said that we can have this document delivered now on each line item, and then we shall be able to see if it was essentially only F&A or the entire ministry. But what I can assure you is that there is no line where we exceeded 10%. We also want to say that this issue of PPID, you have seen several times where you have not passed money in Parliament, and they have been provided money, and directives have come, and finance has said do this and that.
You talk about yourself, Chair. Talk about your ministry.
No, I'm talking about the ministry.
Directives from where? Yeah, Mr. Chairman, he's talking of directives. You go directives from
like
where?
here, finance is which said allocate money. Yeah,
Chair.
No. This one here, finance wrote and said reallocate money to them to this tune.
Accounting officer, for us, you came here, you asked for money, and we gave you. We never told you to go and pay money to BBID. What is it? Pay BBID. We never. If you are supposed to pay it, then you should go, whoever has told you to pay, to identify money for you to what? And give you to pay. Whether it is directed from where and where, it's good knowledge, good accounting. I'm sure the President of Uganda knows financial matters because the Minister of what? Finance. I'm very sure you are using his name so that you run away. This time we're going to say, no, we cannot accept this.
Honorable Chair, I agree with you. My understanding would have been that if, as a sector, we make a request to Minister of Finance for environment, Minister of Finance, which is the lead agents, institutions on all finances in Uganda in terms of management, the rest of it in the budget process, should then come back to Parliament and said, there is this request from a sector ministry. Can it be done? If they don't, and they write back to us and to say, you can reallocate, the assumption is that they could have come to Parliament.
So we're going to deal with that. Members, let us do this because that is the most stitched place we are today, and we must resolve it once and for all. So I want to ask Yoguma.
Yes.
Then Michael.
Mr. Chairman.
Engineer also.
This environment was not only, it is not only about 10%, but it was also contentious, and this is the section 22 of Public Finance Management Act, subsection 2, part B. Because, as I told you, I was a member of Natural Resources Committee, because the activities of PBID were not clear. We refused the budget for PB. Then they went ahead through finance and gave this banana project money. So in that case, Mr. Chairman, even this environment is contentious. You broke the law. And this is the duty of the accounting officer, not finance. You have already said that the issues of PBID, we refused it. I remember the accounting officer was there. Now you went behind Parliament and provided the money. So the issue was also contentious. This is subsection B of section 22(2). Mr. Chairman, maybe it looks like they are not even aware of this law. That's why they are not.
No, you can give to the
if they are aware of the law, then their penalty is section 79, where you go behind Parliament. You go to jail for 4 years.
Okay. I think accounting officer is getting it clear. One, if he has read it for you. Michael.
Thank you, Chair. Chair, I have a copy of the reprint of the Public Finance Management Act.
The reprint?
Yeah. And it provides on page 323.
323.
These are interpretations. And before I go to section 22, the interpretation of the minister means the minister responsible for finance. And section 22 talks of a minister upon a request by accounting officer is the one authorized, therefore, to offer a environment. Before we go to the 1% or 10% or whatever, I know who the Minister of Finance is. It's not the PSST, it's not the ministry, but it's the Minister of Finance. So we shall require, first and foremost, that authorization from the Minister of Finance before we go to your percentages. Whether it's below 10%, but you don't have authorization from the Minister, then there's a nullity. So, Mr. Chairman, I think we should not waste a lot of time on this matter. We get authority for that environment. Short of that, the accounting officer knows the consequences.
Accounting officer, can you give us the authority of the Minister for Environment? No, that one is the first one. Let us deal with it. That's true. That's the law. That's the law. Yeah. Accounting officer. Is there the attachment of the Minister of Finance to provide 10%?
Honorable Chair, I would request that you give us time to get the document.
No, since he's calling.
Brought here.
No, since he's calling.
Yes.
We'll tell him that tell one of your staff that let him add the tell your friend that let them bring also the authority from the Minister of the Environment of that. And request the Minister as per section 22 of the Public Finance and the Management Act. These are very intelligent guys. You go with him. You know the reason I'm asking. Don't worry, he's not an intelligent young man and women.
Yeah. Chair.
You read him to read and you call, and he can call his staff in the finance.
Chair. Chair.
They want to go. Hey, I'm capacity.
Chair. The issue of PBID, as the accounting officer said, is a very critical issue. But accounting officer, as my senior elders here are reading the PM, is it P what? PFM what? PFMA. And the Minister of Finance, according to the Constitution, is the President. Maybe accounting officer, if you also have a letter from the President, it might suffice. Because Honomatia Kasaija and the Bahati team, they work on behalf of the chairman of the party, who is the Minister of Finance. So if you can call for even such a letter, it might suffice. Thank you.
So, as he looks for the letter, do you have the letter?
Honorable Chair, I've requested my officer in the Ministry to bring us the authorization from Ministry of Finance.
All of it.
For that particular one, because for us, we deal with Ministry of Finance. Beyond that, how they get the directives, we don't know. If they had any, we don't know.
That's why I like triple O. You are very clear. Okay. So, accounting colleagues.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, I wanted...
No, don't go there. I know where you're going. That's why I like my chair, but I know where she's going. Number 2 now, accounting officer. We have to move on. As we're waiting for that, that one we shall not leave because... So now, how did you convince the Auditor General not to qualify your accounts with the environment? Because it affected some activities, and the Auditor General has been so clear here that there is no activity which was affected as a result of environment. How did you convince him or her?
Honorable Chair, I don't think we did anything which is abnormal, because all that we did is we presented the facts as they are. And the Auditor General went through, and based on the documents that were available, I would assume that on the basis of the documentation that opinion was given.
No, accounting officer, we want to assure you something. On page 5 of the Auditor General, under 1.5, we want to say, have you seen 1.5? Auditor General report. What does it say? Mischarge of expenditures. And how much is it? How much?
Can I request the principal accountant to clarify on this? I think this was not a deliberate mischarge. It must have been a technical.
No. But let us start before you clarify. Yeah. How much is the money?
73,473,857.
Exactly. 73. Auditor General raised the query. But on 1.119 billion, he never raised what? A query. We were trying to look at the materiality. So is 1.19 billion smaller than 73 million? That's what we want to confirm from you. Because you know Triple O, we like you, that's why we...
Yes, Honorable Chair and members, obviously 1.19 billion is greater than 73 million.
So you see what we are saying. If it is more, how did you convince the Auditor General on 1.19 billion? Is where our question is.
Honorable Chair, my humble request is that let's wait for the documents that they are bringing. It may give us the answer to the area that we are raising.
Okay, so note that the EU convinced the Auditor General to drop 1.19 billion vis-a-vis him raising 73 million as a mischarge. Yet at the same time, Auditor General never raised that there were outputs which were never some activities which were never performed. And that clearly shows three things. One, over budgeting, that you had over budgeted for activities and they were implemented with less money. 2, if Notagen never saw it, you failed to give him all the information, and that's against the National Audit Act. And 3, the mischarge of 73 vis-a-vis that shows that you decided to only raise what would be small to be left out, because the committee will say 73 is nothing. You might not you are good. So those are the 3 issues we shall want to interrogate. If we confirm that.
But Chair and member, 1.3 is a substantive question on budget performance, and it brings out the issues of the activities that were affected by the non-release of the funds, which was the 12 billion, but also that one was also impacted on by the environment.
I think you are aware that the Auditor General, where non-performance of activity is very clear. Auditor General has not raised that it was because of non-environment that they were affected. He is saying these activities were not done because of lack of. He even goes ahead to say you got money you never absorbed. Which we need to deal with all this in. He has not said the activities were affected as a result of non-environment, no? In fact, he has said, even if we gave you the money, you would not have consumed it. Because you have under absorption. Which we are going to deal with now. By the way, have you voted me? That's a good question.
Change the atmosphere through my accounting officer.
No.
I did, sir.
No, we're dealing with issues. No, they are voting for electronic up to 15. No, there are other issues of ours. So, accounting officer, now we have packed 1.119 billion. Now we're dealing with the budget. We're moving. And now we've got the next one. Yes, now we're going now down. Yeah, that's what we're waiting for. Let us deal with that when it comes. So, accounting officer, we go through the budget. Now, there we're on page 14. Are we there? Yeah, so you run us through quickly, summary.
Chair, the expenditure, employee costs.
So now, first of all, you got warrants of 47.01 billion.
Yeah, sure.
And you spent 46.45. What?
Yes.
Yeah. And 2 equations there. You have 4.25, which you never budgeted for, but also at the same time, you never absorbed the money.
Now, Chair, the 2 issues. One is the 4.25, which is non-tax revenue, which was from sale of documents. So it was basically an omission not to have budgeted.
So this one is 4.25 was an omission.
Yeah.
Because you forgot sale of what? Sale of documents.
No, yeah, to budget for that NTR.
So you are saying sorry for not budgeting for it.
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. That means you have agreed this one. You agree on the sanctions. Okay. Okay. The next one.
The next one, Chair, is the unspent balance is a standalone query.
Deal with it. When you sort it here, we're done.
Okay, Chair. That is 1 point.
Chair. Did you? We are on the employee cost.
No, Chair. We're still presenting on revenue performance. That's why we're now
under absorption. We finish that, then we go. You see, we want to again repeat. When you answer something here, it has dealt with it whether at the front or at the back. Are you getting us?
Thank you, Chair. Our response basically just
only the under absorption.
Yeah.
You can't.
1.2.
Whatever the case, we don't know how much it was.
Sorry, Chair, under 1.2, we are talking about under absorption. That is the difference between the warrants, which are the releases, and the actual expenditure was 619,654,181, and that is categorized under two major categories. One, the unspent balance of 593,021,783 shillings, which is 96% was for wage, while the 26.6 million was for non-wage recurrent. And the reason for the non-absorption under wage is provided in our explanation that by the close of the financial year 2018-2019, staffing was at 78%, that's the low absorption of the wage budget. However, more vacant positions have since been filled with the staffing level now at 84%. Recruitment of the 9 remaining technical positions is ongoing, and deployment of 15 cadre staff is awaited from the relevant ministries.
Members, now you are good. If you go to page 14, you said the unspent of 619 was basically for what?
Wage 593 million, which is about 96%, and then the 26.6 million is non-wage.
That gives a total of what?
614. Sorry, 619. Okay. 654.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just 644. Now let us look at goods and services.
Chair, before that, excuse me, I want to, is attributing that to employee costs in his cash flow statement. So I want him to explain by note 8 on page 22. Page 22.
Yeah, not 8.
Not 8.
Yes. Not 8, yeah, just wait. Chair, the employee costs here basically is 2.784 billion in the cash flow statement, because that's what was actually paid. And in note 8 is 2.79 billion, which is from the statement of performance, and that includes accrued
of 893.
No. Employee costs, which is supported by schedule on outstanding commitment. So there was outstanding salary of
893.
No. It is
6 million.
That is 6 million something, and that should be able to explain the difference.
Oh yes.
Actually, that's what I want your explanation on. The 6 million is provided for in the statement of outstanding commitments.
Yeah, and also in the performance.
As the new outstanding.
Yes. For under employee costs.
Yes, I want you to first explain that. What is that outstanding that has been accrued in that particular financial year?
These were salaries for Mr. Mwembezi, Leodinas, and Tracy J. Collins that were not paid by the end of the financial year.
Reason?
The reason is that these people had not been able to access the payroll at that time.
Now,
yes.
You got section 15 of the Public Finance Management Act. I gave you a copy.
The copy is outside.
It is outside, it is back.
I'm there, sir.
You look at how, first of all, we appropriate as per your stated outputs, procurement plans, and recruitment plans.
Yes.
So were these new staff?
Yeah, these were new staff.
Take me to your staff schedule.
Chair, the staff schedule is not there. This because what is there is just a summary of the total.
Yeah, it shows the number of people recruited.
Yes, you can see. You can see.
You have 97.
Yes, the 97 were the people coming in through the financial year, but out of these 97, it's only those 2 that are not being able to access the payroll by the end of the financial year.
So in the breakdown of these 97, those 3 are inclusive?
Yeah, they are sure. Actually, they are 2. They are 2. Chair, the schedule is on page, is under Annex 5. Schedule of verified areas.
Chair, he was talking about the names of the 2 people.
They are there. They are on page, the second last page. Mwebaze Leodos and Thomas de Collins. Is it Mwebeze? Mike, are you okay there?
Yep.
Okay. Thank you. So, accounting officer, that one. We are now going down. Now, you said the difference of 618 was basically employment cost. Now, let us look at goods and services.
Yeah, Chair, when you go to page 7, the interpretation on the statement of appropriation on page 7 gives a variance of 12.9 billion. Mm-hmm. That includes money that was not released. This is money that was not released. The 12.9 billion is money that was not released.
Yeah, but you see, you are saying, what about 6118? Was it released?
Yeah, it was released and unspent, unutilized. Huh?
It was a warrant.
Yeah, it was warranted. We received that money, but we did not spend it.
You never picked it.
Yes.
That also applies to goods and services, unless the invoice has been.
No, Chair. No, Chair. Just let me explain. The variance here is between what was the budget vis-a-vis what did you spend. So that includes, the variance includes unreleased funds, but budgeted for but unreleased. That's why here you see 12.9 billion, but the other analysis is between what did you receive vis-a-vis how much did you use.
No. For us, we'll leave this one 12. We are on the warrants.
Yeah.
Warrant means money is available. You just put your hand at warrants like this.
Yes, Chair, and that's what I'm explaining.
Now, when you do it, on goods and services, what was the warrant?
The goods and services, the warrant is 11.1 billion.
123 billion.
Yes.
What did you spend?
11 billion.
11,096.
Yes.
There's a difference.
It's a very small difference.
It's not a small difference, whether it's 1 shilling or what, because we are looking for under absorption.
Yes.
And for you are saying the underperformance. Yes, you can explain it.
Actually, Chair, the 26 million is across goods and services and the goods and services basically. The 26 that was unspent out of what was released is basically under goods and services consumed.
But you're saying here that it is wage.
No, Chair, I've explained there are 2 categories. One, there is wage, 593 million, which is about 96%, and there is the 26 million, which is for non-wage.
So 26 was non-wage?
Yes, sure.
So that means those are for goods and services?
Yes, sure.
Yeah, but here an explanation means you implemented, for example, you budgeted for a cap at 1,000 shillings. Then you buy it at 800 shillings. It means your 200 has been not saved. So we want you to confirm, is the 26 saved as a result of the prices or as a result of non-implementation of an activity?
Okay, Chair. When you look at the 26, about 24 million was as a result of a cancelled payment for goods that had been provided, but due to the supplier's bank account had issues and the payment would not go through. So, and the balance was for postage and courier. Basically, that was a saving on postage and courier. Yeah, the 26. So no. It is actually 26. Just 600. 26,600 and.
So are you saying that the budget of Ministry of Science should equal to expenditure?
No, Chair. That's why you see.
The way you are saying here, income is exactly equal to what? Expenditure. So how are you so accurate that we cannot even get?
No, Chair, that's not true, because when you look at budget performance, our overall budget performance is 79%. 21% of the budget was not released. So here we are accounting for money that we received,
Chair,
not what was budgeted.
Chair.
Yes.
Thank you, Chair. You know, when you go and do those accounts, maybe get lost, but on the page where you referred me to, there's
Second last.
the East African Limited Motor Vehicle. May I know why this money was not spent? Did they supply a fake vehicle or what? Then two, this Mwebas and Preshige. Was this salary for a whole year? And why could they not access the payroll? Was it a dubious recruitment? Because you said others, but only these two. They were rejected by... Was there any problem with their papers or what? Because you need to... Because, Chair, this is... If they were from North, you would think they have segregated them. Now that all of them, they are from the other side. What happened to them?
We segregated.
Are they being witch-hunted? According to the names, Treshige here and Tuembebezi. So why? What happened to these people?
Honorable Chair, I want to comfort the member that in MOSTI we don't segregate. Now, what happens is that when posts are advertised, Public Service Commission schedules interviews for recruitment. And when the recruitment interviews are scheduled, we go and interview the candidates. Now, after interviewing the candidates and a candidate emerges successful, that's where we stop and wait for the internal processes of the commission to write to us to indicate that officer so and so has been successful and therefore should be issued appointment letter. But that also comes with the minutes of the commission interview. It also goes to Ministry of Public Service before it comes to us. But when it comes to us, then the internal process of getting that officer on the payroll is initiated, and it's not done in 1 week. Maybe I could ask State Commission on Human Resources to explain how does one get on the payroll once you have been appointed. Even if you have been serving in another ministry, you still come with an appointment letter that gives you a new position, and therefore the process starts afresh.
Chair, some of us were in public service. He was even my boss when he was in water. But what I'm asking...
You knew him?
No, Chair, leave that. Chair. No, Chair.
That's right.
Why I'm asking... Chair, I was the best water officer in 2007 in the country. But Chair, why I'm asking... PS, did you only recruit to these two?
No. Accounting officer, no. It is on the last page. It showed the recruitment. There were 97.
But why only these two?
No. You see, now that's why they want to explain.
Yeah, you have to explain. Why could
Commissioner, I've told you to come and explain.
Out of 98, why only these two?
Use the other one, don't use your bosses.
You mean they had the wrong minutes or what?
She's coming to explain. The lady is very intelligent. You still wait for her. Are you sure? Yakuma, you know her? You know her? Go ahead.
Thank you very much, Chair. I just want to explain a bit about the recruitment process. Throughout the financial year, we keep getting these recruitments done. according to how they are scheduled at the Public Service Commission. So not everybody comes at the same time.
That one I've understood.
Yes, so
Why these two?
these two, it is the time they were recruited and reported. One, Leo Mwebembezi, was a staff of Ministry of Water and Environment, in Director of Water Resources. After his recruitment, we received this minute. When we receive the minute, we issue the appointment letter. When the appointment letter is issued, the officer has to accept. We give them up to within a month to accept. And once the acceptance is done, like in the case of Leo Mwebembezi, he had to hand over office in water. And sometimes it takes a bit of time. After handing over office, then he reports. When he has effectively reported to the ministry, that is when we initiate accessing him on payroll. And so by the time the financial year is closing, we had not picked him on our payroll, because the payroll process also is not handled independently by the ministry. We initiate, we submit to Ministry of Public Service, they also do their bit, then they send it back. Eventually, somebody is accessed on payroll, including issues of verification. They need to bring in documents like national ID. In the case of Collins, he actually had issues with his national ID, which was eventually rectified.